how people like to say your parents do not have to respect you? Well, let me tell you something. Respect is a sign of love. If my mom doesn't have to respect me, then she doesn't have to love me. Why do I have to love her, but she doesn't have to love me? Why do I need to tolerate my mom? Why do I need to tolerate her? Why is it wrong for me to file a restraining order against my mom, but if I was the one being the problem, she has the right to do it to me? Parents are not above the law, and we need to stop spoiling them like the brats that they are. I could have said it nicer. Sorry, but we need to stop spoiling parents like this, especially single mothers. Okay? Just because you can push out a baby, just because you can push out a baby does not give you the right to act like an entitled child, like act like a spoiled kid. I don't care what kind of devices that we have. Parents are much more spoiled and entitled than we are. They can get away with treating their kids like crap. And it's like that stuff, narcissistic parents, that stuff is so overlooked. Everybody got narcissistic parents nowadays. And if there's no such if treating your kids like crap does not count as being toxic to your kids, then I don't know what is a toxic parent. Now, one thing is this: kids, teens, snitch on your parents. If they abusing you, treating you like crap, uh, uh, crossing your boundaries, and all of that, snitch on your parents. Snitch on your parents. If they start saying stupid stuff like, "Oh, you never find another one like me," tell them, "Well, that's the point." If the teacher won't help, tell the principal. It is so common to have a toxic parent that nobody knows what a toxic parent is. They just excuse all kinds of these, they excuse all of these toxic things that parents be treating us. And then they acting like there's nothing wrong. But when a boyfriend or a husband does the same thing, or a friend, that's when it's wrong. Parents should not be above everything like this. People say family will not do this. If family would never cross boundaries, would never do such horrible things to somebody, there would be no crime in the world. Cain wouldn't have killed Abel. Joseph's brothers wouldn't have tried to kill him. There wouldn't be that much family betrayal. Okay, and that family betrayal stuff is still happening to this day. If my parents don't need to respect me, they don't have to love me. Why do I need to love her, but she doesn't need to love me? And if you are a parent and you're offended for some reason, this video, you are the toxic parent that I'm talking about. You should not have children. Even if you had good intentions for being this toxic. Okay, the reason why a lot of us a lot of us be having anxiety, depression, all that stuff, and needing to go to therapy, because y'all need to go to therapy, but y'all ain't trying to get it. I ain't trying to get no therapy. Of course, it could be the internet. It could be a part of it, but we've been around you parents too. It's not just the internet. Nobody should have to relearn boundaries at a late age. Nobody should be having a natural attraction to aggressive people and having a hard time leaving a toxic relationship. Because we were always taught it don't matter how horrible your parents been to you, you have to go back to them. So whatever you taught us in the home, we take with us outside the home. We take full accountability. Like, I take full accountability for even letting myself be this messed up. Letting myself be this messed up. But at the same time, it's like I was still influenced. I allowed myself to be influenced. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But one thing your parents need to know, like, y'all need therapy as much as we do. Because this, in having anxiety, depression should not be this common. Constantly beating ourselves up over every mistake we make should not be this common. Currently beating ourselves over every mistake we make, it should not. It should not. Having a crappy memory to the point where we would immediately forget if you were to choke us, and we would forget it in a second because we were always taught to forgive and forget. Like, you choke me 1 second and tell me that you love me. This shouldn't be common. These trauma responses, it should not be that common to have PTSD. It should not be that common to have CPTSD. It should not be this common to have depression. It should not be this common. It should not be so common to be depressed, to be narcissistic, and to be codependent. Another thing, to kids, to all the kids, like, let me tell you something. If you ever decide to take action to stop being abused by your parents, like telling on your parents, to your teachers, and to the principals, well, I'm going to tell you this. Okay? If your mother is abusive but your father isn't, go to your father. If your father's abusive but your mother isn't, go to your mother. If they both are abusive, I don't care if they give you like a simple smack in the face or a pop on the wrist. Okay? If they both are abusive, go to the foster care. They can try to tell you, oh, the foster care is abusive. They have never been there. They just don't want you to leave. They just afraid to be alone. Okay? Let them be alone. Okay? So yeah, God bless.